the first thing you'll be taking is your shoulder measurement. Your shoulder measurement is from one shoulder point, one shoulder bone to the other. If you touch your shoulder, there's a bone on the shoulder. It's like a ball. So it's from that shoulder point to the other shoulder point. That means your shoulder measurement. So on this mannequin, we're taking our shoulder measurement. Meanwhile, shoulder measurement is the first measurement you take on your mannequin. So it's going to be like this to this. So on this shoulder, this mannequin shoulder is 12 inches. Then you move from the shoulder. You can decide to take your sleeve from that point. The next measurement you'll be taking is the bust. Meanwhile, the bust is the fullest part of the upper body. This is the upper body, from the waistline to the upper side is the upper body. So the bust is the fullest part of the upper body. And this is how you take the measurement. You take your tape around the bust and you measure like so, making sure one of your finger is inside the measurement. The finger inside the measurement is going to serve as a guide. One finger inside the tape. This one finger inside the tape is going to serve as a guide. And when taking your body measurement, make sure your tape is straight. It's not tilted back. It's not tilted back at the back. The reason why this tape is dropping because of the plastic is slippery. So make sure your tape is also like this at the back and not like this. So then the next measurement we'll be taking is the under bust. Under bust simply means below or beneath the bust. This is the bust. This is the under bust. So you take your under bust measurement like this. Make sure your under bust measurement is fair. So you take your under bust measurement like this. Then the next measurement you'll be taking is the waist. And there's a thing I would like to say. If you are taking your client's measurements, make sure they are wearing something closer to a bodycon dress. Let them not wear a baggy dress or a big dress or your boyfriend jeans, a bigger shirt, because those shirts will add their allowance. But if they're wearing a very fitted or bodycon dress, you get to take your measurements accurately and there will not be error. So how do you get the waist measurements? Meanwhile, the waist is the tiniest part of your body. I repeat, the waist is the tiniest part of your body. So how do you get the waist? You can try to feel your client's body like this. But you eventually get to the because it's the tiniest part of the body. And if you cannot do that, you can easily tell your client to tilt down, to tilt to one side, like just bend to one side. So the part that goes in the most is the waist. Just like this. So this part that goes in, just a little bit tilted, just tilt to the side, just a little bit. So this particular side is the waist. Another method is simply telling your client to touch their waist. But not all of them that knows their waist. Just tell them to touch their waist. And you notice they can't touch their waist. You try the other two methods. So and this is how you still take your waist measurement. One finger inside the tape as a guide and make sure it is fitted. Don't take your waist like this. Don't take your measurement like this. It is not going to give you accurate body measurement. The clothes is not going to give you accurate fitting. Make sure your tape is firm. Then the next measurement to be taken is the hip. The hip is the biggest or fullest part of your lower part. This is the lower part. The fullest part of it is definitely this part. So you can see. So you take your hip measurement around the fullest part of your body, like this. So, meanwhile, there are two types of measurements. We have the horizontal and we have the vertical. So, just like the name implies, if there's anyone of us that did math in our primary or secondary school, we know that longitude is like this from head to toe, while horizontal is like a parallel line. So, that's how you did the bust circumference, waist circumference, hip circumference. So, just like a line going like this. So, in tailoring, a vertical measurement is going to be from the shoulder to the bust point, from the shoulder to the underbust, from the shoulder to the waist, shoulder to the hip, shoulder to floor length or full length, and thereabouts. So, how do you take your shoulder to your waist? You start your measurement from this part, very close to your neck. Don't take your measurement from this part. If you are taking your measurements from this part, you are definitely going to get an error. Your clothes is definitely not going to fit good. It's not going to fit well. So take your measurement like this. So taking a measurement like this, I'm having 10.5 as a bust or nipple point. If I'm taking like this, I'm having 10 as a nipple point. So you take your tape from this part to this part. That is your nipple point. Then how do you take your underbust? So your tape will be running on top of the nipple, then to the underbust. Whatever measurements you want to take it must pass through your nipple point. If not, you're not going to get an accurate measurement. If you want to take your waist and you're taking it like this, it's an error. It's not going to work. It has to come like this to your underbust, then to your waist. So, like I said earlier, your waist is the thinnest part of your upper body. So, how do you get your waist when you're taking your? So you can either use bias. Or an elastic to tie your waist. Which way is okay for you? So I'll be using bias to tie the waist. So after getting the waist, you just tie your bias exactly on your waist. So, and this is how you get the waist. Making sure your tape is passing on top of your nipple point to the waist. So yeah, the waist is 19. Then how do you get your hip as well? Because you're supposed to get your hip line as well. You'll take another rope and tie it around your hip, just the way you tie it around your waist. Then measure your hip line. Don't some people use eyes to gauge it, or it is not the proper method to gauge it with eyes. Some clothes I've been doing it for a very long time that are mostly gauge. They are just gauge. Some people gauge like this. And they get measurements. But it is okay, it's proper and professional for you to tie a rope around the waist. Then you get your hip line, your knee length. Then you get your knee line, just like this. Then your full length. Like I have been saying, make sure your tape is passing like this and not like this. So thanks for watching. Till I see you in my next video. Bye for now.